In early November, I was invited to Silverstone by Radical Cars to sample their 3 offerings from the passenger seat: the SR1, the SR3 and the SR10. We started in the SR1. The SR1 is the baby of the range in size, but don't be fooled into thinking it is a baby in any other way. The SR1 has a Revy 1.3 litre 4-cylinder Suzuki motorbike-derived engine producing 182 horsepower. This is twinned to a 6-speed paddle shift transmission with auto blipper. It has a quaife differential to keep you pointing in the right direction on track. In the hands of Brian Lindsay, a driver from fully fledged GT3 cars, it turned out to be quite the ride. Apologies for the audio in-car, there was no screen of any kind, making wind at 135 miles an hour a bit of a problem.
I'll be amazed, but Jesus Christ, this is a very, very fast little car. There's a load of movement in it at the moment whilst the tyres are warming up. Round we come, following a prototype car, that's how quick it is. It's amazing over the top of the brow, that hill there. There's so much room on the exit, way more room than you think. Oh, the brakes are absolutely astonishing. Feels like there's absolutely no inertia whatsoever. Due to the weight, the gearbox is incredible as well. Just from the passenger seat you can feel the thing moving around. Third there, coming to 9,000 RPM. No idea what speed we're in. Brakes are astonishing. Down the gearbox, the down changes are vicious. What a thing. I'm most impressed with the way the thing brakes where it stops, the lack of weight you can feel. It's incredible. Coming up behind some back market. It's amazing how you can feel it on the... Whoa! Got to be super quick on the steering by the looks of it. Where it sort of backs in, it's amazing. And on the car, it's not really a power slide, it's more of a feel the weight coming through it. What a weapon. What a driver. Absolutely, well on that time through the first corner. Properly fast car. You can see how racing a load of these have been absolutely properly moving now. Can't be much else. Nothing's gone past us. You always know something's fast when nothing else gone past you. Sorry about my microphone, everyone. That braking there is just vicious. I am strapped into this thing. That is alarmingly quick. Mate, what a thing! But the understeer to start with, but it feels like, so to me, it feels like you have to get it in under brakes, or it understeers.
Yeah, I think this thing's left off a bit of understeer. I think we're people driving it today.
It's way more pliable than I thought it was going to be, in the sense of I thought that once it started to go, I thought it would be, right, you're round.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Almost more like a go-kart in the sense of like just round it goes.
Needless to say, the SR1 is an amazing machine. Even from the passenger seat, the level of feedback is tangible. you can feel exactly what the car is doing beneath you. The semi-slick tyres and lack of aero in the SR1 offer up slight understeer, making this the perfect way to hone your skills before climbing through the ranks to more power, more aero and slick tyres. From the SR1 I was thrown straight in the deep end, skipping the SR3 and jumping straight into the SR10. Now I thought the SR1 was fast. The SR10 boasts a 2.3 RPE Ford EcoBoost engine producing 425 horsepower and 380 pounds-foot of torque, making this track monster have a power-to-weight ratio of a neck-breaking 574 brake horsepower per tonne. As big boys' toys go, this has got to be up there.
It already feels a bit more serious. I wish I had longer legs and don't reach the end.
Yeah, this one's got a lot more space.
I've got nothing to brace on.
So much room for activities.
Yeah, bloody hell. I'm not coming out of there.
Well, you know how much you're going to move.
Oh yeah.
Just try to hold your arm like this so you stay away from him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. just you didn't go through any of this stuff with the other one.
Nah, the other one's easy.
SR10 this time, done SR1, this already feels much more serious. Oh my god. Okay, that is chopper. So this is literally just an outlap, so he's obviously not working particularly hard, just getting some temp in the tyres, run slicks, and the car has a lot more aero, so loads more power and loads of aero. So we were saying the SR1 is doing 135 down the back straight, this will be doing more like 165. Performance is just alarming. I have my two radicals straight past those. This is just... What I'm really noticing as well with this one is my neck muscles are really having to work hard to keep my head on my shoulders. About 100 yards further back down the road, just because you're going so much faster. There's so much more weight. Oh, I tell you what a machine. I want to race one of these. This is brilliant. Oh no, there's a Praga right across the middle of the running. To wind it up now. This is a vicious assault on the senses. You got that turbocharged engine in the back, fizzing and hissing away. Oh my word, what a machine. We got a red flag. Well, that's a bit more serious.
Yeah, it's a little bit more.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, got to be a lot more careful with this one.
Wait, stop that. I'm trying to keep my head straight. Because I can see why, you know, God, the physicality.
Yeah.
of the acceleration, the relentlessness.
Yeah, it just keeps pulling.
Yeah, it does.
Speedo's here, and last time I checked, it was 155 at the end of the straight.
165.
155, I think
Okay.
that time. But that was the last time I looked. I looked back up for the corner.
Yeah, you don't look at that. I'll look across at that. But honestly, that is a very physical thing. I'm here at Radical today. I've been out in all 3 cars, and this is Dan Redpath. He's the sales and marketing director, and he's kindly come out and had a chat with me. Hello, Dan.
Great to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Right, so talk me through the way into Radical.
So you're probably a petrol head. If you come to us, you've probably had some great road cars, gotten a bit bored and frustrated with driving it on the road, which is pretty regulated and sterile and whatnot these days. And so you've then sought out a racetrack, maybe in that same road car. And in that process of driving your road car on the racetrack, you'll have seen Radicals overtake you. And that's normally how people come to us. Once they're in the sort of the Radical family, if you like, typically you'd start off with SR1, go up to an SR3, and then end up with the SR10. SR1's really the sort of first journey in motorsport for a lot of people. It's a lightweight space frame chassis, 182 horsepower, a bit of movement in the way it handles, but it's very accessible performance, and guaranteed that when you get out of the car for the first time, you will have a huge grin on your face.
So I've been lucky enough to, as I say, go round in all 3 of the cars today, just in the passenger seat. I'm going to talk to you about afterwards whether you'll let me have a little drive in one at some point in the future.
Sure.
But I can genuinely see how, with the lack of aero, with not on slicks, how the SR1 would teach you really, really well how to, the car control that you'd need to then race.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it gives you great respect for weight transfer. It teaches you some really valuable lessons, and it's almost well worth doing the SR1 before you move up into the other cars, so that you've got a much stronger basis when you do move into the slick tyres of the SR3 and the SR10 and the bigger aero that you get with those products as well.
So the favourite one for me was the SR3. The SR3, and I know that's the one you sell most of.
Yeah.
The SR10, even though it was alarmingly fast, was something that it felt very, very serious to me, the SR10. And it felt like, I feel like it's almost too good for the level of talent that I might have, whereas the SR3 felt obtainable to me.
Sure.
And it felt, even still, I was going around corners like unbelievably quickly in that thing, with the aero and with the downforce and the tyres. It just felt like you would continuously grow with the car. Is that something that you see year in, year out?
It's really important to us, And you're right, the SR3 is the most popular car we've ever made, actually, in the 25-year history. But what's important to us is that the chassis attributes, the way the car feels through your fingertips and the seat of your pants, is intuitive. And because our customers are doing this for fun, they're carving out time in their busy diary to come and have excitement and exhilaration and whatnot. And so we make sure that the chassis has an envelope of, you could get in it as the first time you've ever driven a Radical, and you would have a chemistry with the car, but also you could own it for 5 years, and maybe you're at 5/10 on the first drive, and you work your way up to 10/10, but every single time that you drive the car, you'll get out with the biggest grin and the biggest sort of flow of adrenaline ever.
Okay, so I know this is a crude thing to talk about, but unfortunately people that are watching this will want to know. What sort of money does it cost to get into a Radical, an SR1 to start with, and then go through the range?
So SR1 starts at £50,000, and you'd be looking for just below that per annum to actually campaign the car in a 6-race series with a bit of testing thrown in. SR3s, they start at 75,900. And again, just below that car figure would be your sort of annual budget to run the thing in a 6-race championship.
Okay, and then SR10, is that?
SR10, then you're moving up into 125,900, 125,900, and probably not that same sort of figure in terms of its running costs. It would probably be sort of £70,000-ish. Depends how much testing you do. Either side of the 6 races, because you obviously want to get some practice.
Having been in that car, car, I'd want to practice quite a lot in it, I think.
Wouldn't you?
And does it always have to be a single series race, or can you enter these into other race series?
You can. So obviously we're a global company, although we're a small one. We're in 21 different countries around the world. So it's a slightly different answer depending on where you are in the world. The main ethos of Radical is single mate racing because it's the most fun and the most exciting if everyone's in the same car. But there are places where you can go and race against other makes of car. Much more fun to race in a Radical only series. And also because we've got race series around the world, if you were one of our UK customers and you'd had this itch that you wanted to race a Radical at Yas Marina or Bathurst, we can easily make that happen.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming along. It's been great to
I look forward to having a drive in one maybe one day.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.